Hello everyone, I'm Chris with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the V4R. It is my 1 year of ownership and I want to go over the 5 things that I hate about the V4R. Yes, there's going to be a 5 things I love about it coming up next. And then I'll just do a full overview video, a review really of what it's been like owning this V4R for the past year. So let's get into the 5 things I hate. What I hate about the V4R is the heat. Every Panigale has always been hot. The $11.99, $12.99, exhaust came up through here. It was always hot. It always burned your undercarriage. The newer ones, the 2020, 2019, and the 2021, there were little vents right here that came out the top, and the heat from the motor came back on your knees. So the old ones burned your butt, this one burned your knees. Now, right here, the V4R at least, this sears your calf. And I know you're like, well, go on the track and you're not gonna feel it. You do. When you're actually pushing the bike on track and you're going around slower turns, you feel the heat from this on your calf through your leathers. So those of you that think that, oh, you just keep it on track, is that a problem? It kind of is. It gets really warm. I've also heard, I personally cannot confirm, riding the $12.99 Superleggera, it had the wheel barrel exhaust that came out the back. That got hot. I've heard that this bike with that same exhaust also gets really hot. So yeah, it's a warm bike. And stop and go traffic, this bike, it doesn't have a gauge as far as like what your temperature actually gets to. It just kind of shows like 4 or 5 bars and that's what your engine temp or fluid temp is. When you're just normal riding, and this is like 45, 50 degrees outside, I am at the bar 4, sometimes bar 5 when I'm just sitting at a stoplight. This bike runs really hot no matter what you're doing. So heat is the first thing I hate. The second thing that I hate about the V4R, again, hate's a very strong word. It's more of just kind of an annoying quirk, if you will. These right here, these levers, I wish they put the Ducati Corsa ones on there that you get with like the Speciale, and I think the SP2 gets them. It is kind of a reach to the brake. I would like 1 more degree to come back so these sit a little bit better in my finger, because when you're down and you come up, and you're trying to rotate, it's just a little too long for me. And I don't have the smallest of hands, but yet it's still a bit of a reach. So if they would update this and put the Ducati Corsa levers on here, it would be awesome. The third thing that I hate actually deals with the dash. I'll show you what I'm talking about. As we come up to turn this thing on, beautiful, comes up, and then finish line out of range. And then it always comes up with that. No matter if you go through the menus and actually turn off the freaking lap, like a lap off. Cool. Lap data. There's previous stuff on there, but there shouldn't be any reason for that. The lap data shouldn't matter because it's all mattered. So why is that there? I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like how it always pops up. And this always seems like it's always trying to find something. Like the GPS is always on. I feel like that's giving a parasitic draw to the battery, and I just don't like it. The next thing that I actually hate about the V4R isn't necessarily about the bike. It's actually about the telemetry that this bike's supposed to have. You're supposed to have the GPS and the DDA, the Ducati Digital Analyzer, Ducati Data Analyzer, whatever you want to call it. And it's supposed to show you all of these sweet features, your lean angle, throttle position, all this fun stuff to track what you're doing on track. And it sort of does, but in order to find the DDA app, you have to go through this roundabout way of even finding it. It's not directly forward. Like the 5 you get to plug into back here, it gives you a website to go to, but the website doesn't really work. And then when you download it and you're able to find it, it doesn't actually give you the best flow of data. The Yamaha data analyzer, the Yamaha telemetry that you can get off of the like R6 that I use for the Champ School, that is beautifully laid out. You can't change the graphs, the colors are weird. They're all scrunched together, and just the way that it displays data, it's not intuitive and it's really hard to deal with. So the Ducati DDA, I'm not a fan of it. I wish it would show more. In the dash, it still sort of shows you your max speed, shows your lean angle and stuff like that. And this is sort of what it shows for you, and that's all fine and good, but it's not even completely accurate. Like, it doesn't even have the right times on there, the right splits or anything. And you have to flick this while going through the start finish at Indies. It's kind of tricky. I wish it was a little more intuitive. I wish it kind of worked a little bit better. Maybe if you have some sort of responder to it, it might work better, but I feel like for the type of bike this is, you should be able to get data easier from it. And the last thing I hate about the V4R is actually kind of controversial, because it obviously is part of the looks and I love the way it looks. So I am of course talking about these lights. They look so cool. And then turn them on and they look so menacing, right? They look great. However, they are actually really bad at night, as they do not go much further than that line. And like, you look at where that's at, that's not that far. And you go there, like that's not that wide. And while that looks really cool, the lights really don't shine on the road that well. So I don't like riding this bike at night because of how bad and how poor that beam of light actually is. So those are the 5 things I hate about the V4R. Yes, they are small, but those are the little negative quirks that I am not a huge fan of. The heat is definitely probably one of the biggest off-putting things for most people, because it is rough to ride through the street. And again, it does get hot at the track. The other things, the levers, yes, you can change those out. The dash, I'm sure there's something within the owner's manual I could find that tells me to turn it off, but it's not straightforward or intuitive. The DDA, I think you have to get a standalone set of data to analyze things, because the DDA is just not good, and it doesn't really give you anything that would tell you what you need to know about what you're doing on the lap well. So that little bit, and then again, the headlights, it is what it is. The stop finish line always being on there, it's just, those are the little quirks that I found. I hope you find this relatively enjoyable. Again, no bike is perfect. This thing is amazing, don't get me wrong. And on that point, we're gonna go next video into what I love about it. There's a lot of things, so we'll try to keep it to 5, but like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what's your perfect bike, because again, they don't exist, but hey, let me know.